This is Abnormal Entertainment.
Welcome to Maskerpiece Theater. This is Kevin Moyers hosting the Masked Libs today. And let's start out with the Masked Blogster. Exclamation.
Grand Canyon!
Okay. You'll know why in a second.
Yeah, I know it's your show, but get out. Right? Pandering.
Ass kisser.
Yeah.
All right. And a new guest, Alex from Grand Canyon Brewing. A noun. We need a noun.
Noun.
Tree. All right. Our next guest, Taylor. We are going to need an adjective.
Spacey.
Nice.
He was a little far from the mic, so he said spacey.
Yeah.
No. Let's see.
In hindsight, bad.
Now we have Sam from Grand Canyon. Adjective.
Shiny.
All right.
Yes.
Mini Mandy.
It's not just me.
Color.
Color. Royal blue.
Royal blue. Not as exciting as, say, puce.
It's because I'm wearing my Colts hat, and I know Sam doesn't like it.
Go Jags.
Gross.
As we say to the people that celebrate the South, you guys lost. Get over it. Thank you. Frankie G, adverb.
Where are they?
Scantily.
Ooh.
Nice. Masked Blogster, adjective.
Squiggly.
All right. We're back to Alex. Plural noun.
Orbs.
Orbs?
Worms or orbs? Worms.
Worms.
Okay.
With a W.
Warbs?
Warbs.
That's it.
Taylor, adjective.
You're getting close.
Delightful.
Delightful. Oh, man. Throw that there. So Grand Canyon's getting a bill for $12.95.
All right, Sam, verb, past tense. Past tense verb.
Drunk.
Let's see. Mini Mandy, verb ending in ing.
Drinking.
All right. Frankie G, adjective.
Fucky.
Fucky. I like that.
Drinking and fucking. Works.
Masked Blogster, adjective.
Adjective. Smelly.
All right. Last round here. Alex, adjective.
I've really lost my mind.
Rough?
Rough.
All right.
R-U-F-F.
All right.
Oh, Trebek.
All right, Taylor, a noun.
I don't know if you saw it. It's very beautiful.
Knight. like a sword-wielding knight.
Gotcha.
Nice. Nice.
That actually works. And the last one, Sam, adjective.
Courageous.
Wow.
You're embarrassing me.
Hopefully there's no comma or very embarrassed.
We made it through that entire thing without cum, taints, sharts.
Yeah, well, I didn't
I'm
realize.
disappointed in all of you.
I didn't realize you were participating with educated folks.
It's a first for us.
All right. This is brain power. Grand Canyon, cried Lex Luthor. My energy-absorbing robot has you trapped, Cyborg, and there's nothing you can do. Cyborg, the half-human, half-tree superhero, was trapped by Luther's own spacey robot. Its shiny mechanical eyes gave off royal blue beams that were scantily draining all the power from Cyborg. Soon you'll be too squiggly to move, and you'll belong to me. I can harness your robotic worms and use them for my own delightful plans, Luther said. Cyborg knew that once his power level drunk past a certain point, he would be at Luther's mercy. But then Cyborg realized that the evil and deadly robot was drinking up his own power at a fucky and steady rate. And that gave him a smelly idea. If you want my power this badly, you can take it. Take it all at once, Cyborg cried, and let loose a rough burst of energy. The overload of energy was too much for the evil knight, and with a loud boom, it collapsed into a courageous pile of metal. And there you go.
Very beautiful.
Take it all at once was printed in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard of that argument.
Yeah.
I need a
There you
courageous pile of money.
Right?
That's what I need.
I mean,
My pile of money isn't doing very
I'll
well.
follow on that sword.
So there you have it.
Oh,
So we
man.
do have Grand Canyon Brewing with us, which is pretty awesome. Yeah, we're at the grid, and what are you guys drinking, or what are you bringing to everybody here? Yeah, you got to bring that in. I know you talk with your hands.
Well,
I got to talk about hand. So right now I'm just drinking a local brew since they are currently not have us on rotation. But Cranberry Swifty from our homies over at 12 West is always delightful.
Gilbert, Arizona.
I like them.
I don't know if your mic's on. Your mic is not
There
on.
you go.
Oh.
No,
That's been amazing.
No,
no.
I think it just shut off when it got
Yeah,
moved.
what's
So, so he's drinking a Cranberry Swifty. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Cranberry Swifty, local delight.
From West?
12 West is another good.
Yeah, 12
West.
12 West out of Gilbert.
12 West is good.
Yeah, they're good people. We're doing a collaboration beer with them next Tuesday
Nice.
for Arizona Beer Week in February.
What?
We'll be launching that at Bottle Shop 48 on February 8th.
Okay.
What kind of beer?
What style?
Yeah.
So that beer will be a sour.
Ooh.
We'll do it not through spontaneous fermentation, but a process called kettle souring. The idea is that we're collaborating with Bottle Shop 48 and 12 West for an event called Gnarly Nostalgia Nightmare.
Nice.
And so I'm a product of the 80s and raised in the 90s.
Yes, it's the best.
Oh, what a great time to be alive, right?
That's
and,
right.
So the idea is we're going to have like a Bop It tournament. We're going to have some pogs going on, little Rock'em Sock'em, some Gushers and Fruit by the Foot, and some 90s candy food pairings. We have like 90s music. A couple of my favorite takeaways are like Eddie Murphy's My Girl Party All the Time, like some Jamiroquai.
Yes.
About to drop that
I'm having custom Grand Canyon MC Hammer pants like done up for the event.
Nice.
So the beer, which is what we're talking about. The idea is I have always had an affinity for. I've always had an affinity for just nerddom in general.
Yeah.
And the High C Ecto Cooler has always been on like my top, like Surge and like all those gnarly drinks that they like had and got rid of. Like that was, it was the Ghostbusters promotion, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was just so cool, and the flavor was so great. I mean, they even brought it back a few years ago, I believe.
The Lady reboot came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. And so we wanted to make something that is going to capture that not only that flavor, but that image, that green Ecto Cooler like visual. So the whole kind of idea is to work with the cats over at Bottle Shop 48. They're amazing human beings. They've really made that space into something very special. I don't have enough time to say all of the positive things in my brain about that place, and so we wanted to like just do something with them. And me and Noel Garcia from 12 West have always been super close, so we just sat down one day and just kind of wanted to do that. And then we got Sam involved, and Bottle Shop 48 just kind of came up immediately, and so we just kind of went from there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So is it going to be green?
Yes, it's
Nice.
I
That's the
have
most
it.
important element, like that weird glowing green.
It has to be like almost slime green.
Yeah, so the
Neon
idea
green.
is to capture the color. We've actually been in group chat all day trying to figure that part out.
Yeah.
Getting the color is almost, if not more important, probably, than getting the taste exactly like Ecto Cooler. I think maybe like 6 people on Earth remember what that drink tastes like.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely do.
Yeah, I do.
I mean,
Yeah, I remember.
if you ask me if it tastes accurate, I'm going to lie to your face either way.
it
Because
tastes exactly the same.
it tastes exactly like my childhood. Fuck off.
An homage does not have to be exact.
Like Uncle Tim?
Well, I mean, I told you that in confidence, but, whatever.
Don't worry, our editor will take that out.
We have an editor now?
Oh, well then. I should have cut out a lot of shit I've said over the last, 7 years.
Yeah, this whole politics thing isn't going to work out for you.
Or it can.
Or it can, yeah. You can say whatever, apparently.
All depends on ratings.
Yes.
Say whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. And I love sours. I don't
Sours
know
are
how-
great.
Like, sours and imperial stouts are my 2 favorite things, and they're completely different, but
Yeah, those, I mean, I guess, sorry, I'm just always going to ramble on at length anytime someone
Please,
talks about
no,
something I
that's
love.
why you're here.
Put a hot
That's why
mic
you're
in front
here.
of me.
No, you're here.
So I love flavor dichotomy, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Sour and stout, and that's malty, that's like sugar driven, that's just heavy on the palate.
Yeah.
Those are 2 ridiculously separated flavor profiles, and that's kind of where I find the most pleasure in life. Texture differentiation and flavor dichotomy, right? So you're eating sushi and it's soft and ricey, and the fish is mushy, and then you have the crispy tempura, incredible, right?
Yeah.
And then like sweet and salty, one of the best flavor dichotomies on earth, right? 2 separate things.
Yeah.
And so I'm always super intrigued by people's palates and like how that kind of works, and that's really great because like when I drink stouts, and I drink big stouts, like I just think of caramel, thick,
Yep.
just hammered out, just
Yeah.
viscous, big bodies, over
50,000 miles overdue oil change.
Right.
Yeah.
for sure, and you can smell
Chew
the
it.
ethanol coming off the
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
The better.
And then
Yeah.
you slide over to sours, and depending upon what lane you're in, I mean, you're getting like just, lactobacillus or Brettanomyces or whatever kind of sour bacteria strain is coming off of it. There's usually a fruit-driven style, and fruit being the exact opposite of every
Right.
flavor, like
Yeah.
chocolate and caramel that's in a
Yeah.
stout. So it's super incredible, and I always find those kind of things interesting.
yeah.
That's I don't really, I guess, have a point, but I'm just always super intrigued by those kind of like those like everyone's palate's super different. In my lifetime, I was teaching at a bartending school, lecturing kids about how we had just surpassed the number of breweries that were open before Prohibition, and I'm now working with a brewery, and we have like nearly 6,000 breweries in operation at any given time, and that's not possible without palate diversity and the way everyone kind of likes things. And, you kind of find yourself like the first IPA I drank, I thought was horrible. The first sour I drank was horrible. The first everything I've drank was horrible. But over time, your palate adjusts. It learns to pull what it likes. I mean, I can drink a Steel Reserve 211 and allow my palate to pull the sweet, high gravity waste.
I can't tell you what my I can't tell you what my palate does when I do that.
Yeah,
when you're on the road, you don't have a lot of choices. When
Yeah,
you're
that's
trying to
true.
sleep in a night's inn with a thread count of 4 on the sheet, so sometimes you have to make some fiscal decisions.
See, for me, my hand pulls toward the sink, and I dump it out. So there's that.
Fair enough. I mean, no one's trying to drink Steel
Sometimes
Reserve
I
for a
say
good
no.
time.
Yeah.
But in a pinch, you can. Over time, I feel that like the more flavors you understand, like you can drink a beer that's not maybe super great, but understand what you do like about it. I like to
Right.
celebrate what I like. I like to lift up what's positive. I don't feel you have to put down to bring up. So I'm always driving to like what am I liking here? What, like I've tasted beer that wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I drive into it, right? And I'm trying to find what I want, what I'm after, because at the end of the day, every single beer is we're surrounded by art here.
Yeah.
And it's appropriate to talk about, I guess. Every beer brewed is a mural. It's a canvas. Not everyone's a winner. I mean, I have a daughter who's an artist. There's several in the trash can. It's not a perfect process.
Yeah.
It's not a perfect process.
Hey,
Every
those.
Amber Ale has its competitors.
But when I look at art, and I love art, I love to see what the artist is trying to see, because I can't see that. And there's so many styles, so many interpretations, and so I always try to drive in and find what I like. That said, there's tons of horrible beer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that Coyote beer from Santan.
That was rough. That was really
It's been a
rough.
long time since I've poured out a beer. I poured out that beer.
Yeah. I couldn't. I
I
tried it
hate you a little for that, Kevin.
2 different times, and I just couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
It was the hibiscus or whatever was in there.
No, I can't.
It did not do it for me.
Yeah.
But, other than that, I like everything else they've had, so...
I
you're
really
bound
like-
to have something.
Yeah, I've never
in a
had an
batch.
opportunity to have that beer personally.
Yeah.
But, Santan's been, putting out hitters for many years. And
They have some great beers. Not that
I mean,
one.
hibiscus is always, I think, an inherent risk no matter what.
Sure.
Because it's so flavorfully aggressive. Like, we used chamomile and a wit. And, I mean, it's...
Which one was that?
that was the Whittier than
Yeah,
Mao.
they had that
Yeah.
at Brass Tap. It was good.
Yeah. Jason
I
Rowe,
like-
free plug.
It's like
Yeah.
she's been there before.
Yeah.
I really like that
She
pistachio.
knows what ply toilet paper they sell.
Shut up. I liked that pistachio.
Yeah, that was...
That was good.
That was a collaboration with... that was our second collaboration with Arizona Wilderness.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
do a good pecan pie, yeah, so that makes sense.
It was good.
So we collaborated American Presidential Stout with Arizona Wilderness in 2014. And then we
That's a good
collaborated
one.
Pistachio about 18 months after that.
Pistachio was good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I dug that one.
Yeah.
And
so,
then I don't remember is it Warlike Machine? Is that what it's called?
Oh,
I like that
Warlike
one
Mercury.
too. Mercury.
Yeah, that was...
That one was interesting.
that
before
name alone
Sam's time.
that name alone is kind of punny. Our brewer Steve actually left us to go to Four Hands. He came from Tired Hands to us and left us to go do Urban Family Project. He's always been a nomad brewer.
Yeah.
He's an incredible human being, and he made like a handful of like super crazy cool beers while he was with us.
Yeah.
Warlike Mercury was one of them.
That was good.
It was Berlin-esque was another one he did. He put out 1 or 2 all right beers that really kind of like changed the direction we were kind of looking at when he was with us. And then our leadership under Josh Ward, he took control. I think slightly after Steve was a brewer, and then he left, and then our head brewer left shortly after, and after that, Josh kind of went to our leadership role, and he had come to us from Hangar 24.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of changed the whole landscape of what we're doing ever since. So it's been fun to kind of play around with all these crazy different styles, see what we're good at, see what we're not. We've been surprised at some of the stuff we're actually good at. So
Won a lot of medals last year.
yeah,
Congratulations.
With a lot of new brewers. So
And you guys grew because you expanded to.
we are
Liquor
quite
list.
large now. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, third largest like physical brew house in the state. It's enormous. It's 40 barrels.
Wow.
Someone will probably correct me on that, but we're 10 years old. We built on 5.5 acres. We built 5 buildings. They cost about $5 million, and there's a lot of fives. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that was on purpose or not, but
Go with it.
yeah, we're just trying to.
I think there's a 555 beer coming.
On a 5-star scale.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
I'll send you a cease and desist. It's fine. So our growth is incredible. We faced a ton of hardships on the way. Our growth was not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Sure.
Being a production-only brewery, like 2.5 hours away from the 5th largest metropolis in the U.S., is not the easiest thing under anyone's roof. But we prevailed. We got through some of our issues, mainly getting a tap room in a way to engage people in our process.
Yeah.
We were kind of born in a different era of beer. Like we didn't used to need the storytelling arm of it. We didn't need the.
Right.
We just produced quality beer and put it into the market, and it was accepted. And I'm nothing but excited that we've gone from I think we're 11 or 12 in the state for breweries, and I think we have like over 90 active breweries and over 100 active brewery licenses in the state.
Yeah.
And I love it. It creates this innovation and this hunger for everyone. And even we've had to steer into like spontaneous fermentation, barrel aging, and stuff we're not generally comfortable with, Belgian styles.
Right.
Just to kind of see what's out there and see what we might want to pursue. We're not trend chasers by any stretch, but it's been an
Trend
interesting
starters,
few
actually.
years for our
In the
growth.
state, trend starter is definitely the right descriptor.
Yeah, I mean, I love Direwolf, and that was something that was super crazy. We took a beer that's a seasonal. We already like smoked that. We already aged wood in it, and then we poured that into Heaven Hill bourbon barrels, which are almost kind of worth their own weight in probably silver, maybe not gold, but Heaven Hill bourbon barrels are solid bourbon barrel aging stuff. And we just outright inoculated them with bacteria in our warehouse. Just didn't even try to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
And then poured beer into them and just tossed in a whole bunch of plums and cherries and just got weird with it,
Yeah.
And it created this incredible beer that, is garnered us a ton of accolades that we probably don't deserve. But
We 100% deserve all.
You deserve
It's
it.
a fantastic beer. It's so awesome to be a part of that. This is whenever I started, like middle of my first year, came into the brewery, got to be a part of the bottling process, and to then see the beer brewed and then be a part of the reveal was insane. And then we won a gold medal at Strong Beer Fest.
That's
in
so cool.
2017 for the wild fermentation process. So.
Nice.
we also, to be fair, Best in Show Brewers Bowl.
And now he's bragging.
I mean,
that's just a
it's
fact.
a huge trophy
That's
that
a
I have
fact.
to give back in 2 days. So you know what? I'm going to talk about it.
Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, 100% brag about
It's been a good.
things we do
It's
well.
been a good 11 and a half months. Yeah, I mean, always focus on what you do well. I mean, we're built to lose, right? I mean, there's a billion things you're not good at or never can be good at. Find what you're good at and you excel at it, man, and never hide it. And that's what we're about. And we love the outdoors. And we've been around 10 years, and there's no reason to stop. Craft beer is in a .com style boom right now.
Yeah.
There's no reason not to just push forward and we're not salesmen. We're storytellers. We have a story to tell, and we have, a journey that we've gone on, and we share that with people, and we build relationships. And, I don't want to sell beer to someone I don't like, and I don't want someone who doesn't like me to buy my beer. That said, I'll still take people's money. Don't confuse it.
Well, we also want.
But the relationships I build are intentive, and because
Right.
everything is driven through community and collaboration, which are the only things that drive me in this industry. The fact that I am friends with all these incredible people in the industry, and we can collaborate and share tips and tricks. I wouldn't know half of what I know without other people smarter than me, ahead of me in this industry. And we just, it's this awesome brotherhood of just incredible talent. And eventually it's going to come to a head where we have to be real and compete. I mean, we get it now, but well, we can just be in this .com style boom, and everyone can just high five and be successful. And I look at the Husses, and I look at 12 West, and I look at the Beer Research Institute, and I look at Ren House and Dark Sky, and I mean, I could name 1,000 other breweries like Pueblo Vita and tons of my friends I'm forgetting, but these people weren't around 4 years ago in most cases,
Right.
and they're putting out some incredible beer.
We just want people to hear their names and go visit them. We want more traction in their market.
And it's not just
Ours specifically, too.
Yeah, it's not just major cities either. Last time I was up in Ontario, I hit so many breweries in little nothing cities, and it's going up in Canada too. All of North America has turned into a giant craft brewery, and it's great.
Destination game.
Yeah,
We want
you
people
just
to come
find
visit
little places.
our part of the town.
Yeah, so
And to piggyback off of what you're saying with the community, that's probably what I like the most about all of it, is anytime I say something to any one of you guys, if I talk about one person, yeah, I know him. He's awesome. Yeah, I know
We
them.
all know
They're
him.
all,
For
yeah.
sure.
And
Yeah.
anytime I go into a brewery, I see somebody from another brewery there. I'm like, that's the guy from
maybe
this person.
because she's
Yeah,
a regular at a bar that I
right.
started at.
Exactly.
And-
So,
Yeah, except that Andy Rich from Dragoon, he's a bit salty.
I mean, you mean Dragon Brewery, right?
Yeah.
Dragon
He has
Brewery?
the best Star Wars memes. Star Wars.
He's got a pretty good idea, too.
For sure he does. And I mean, just to be a shameless self-promoter, when we talk about community, and it's for a good cause, so I don't mind it. Last year we started the Arizona Beardoir Project, which is a calendar made with a bunch of out-of-shape, hairy men from breweries all over the state.
You act like you don't want it, but you want it.
We had started
I might
it.
be able to be in it.
We had started it to raise money for Teresa Sorrells, who is the wife of Greg Sorrells, one of the owners of the Beer Research Institute. Unfortunately, she lost her battle to cancer in 2016, and the money raised from the calendar helped Greg get out of the rest of the debt that he had accrued. And life's shitty; it gets in the way, and you just try to help your friends get through it, right? And
He's still a huge part of our
and Greg is my inner circle, man. Like, I love that dude, and I would do anything for him. And just doing all of that and giving back to the community, like, I didn't want to stop doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so we created the Teresa Sorrells Legacy Foundation, and we did the calendar again this year. We actually charged for spots to be in it because I don't want to pay for production costs up front.
Yeah.
I don't feel that I should have to.
You should.
For charity. We had already put out a successful calendar, so everyone showed up with their A game this year, right? Every single
people away this year. Basically.
Yeah. I sold out every single month in 30 minutes.
Well done.
$150 a spot.
That's great.
And everyone got invested. Last year when we did all the media promotions, I did 6 media promotions. I got a handful of people to show up. This year we got far less, but everyone showed up. The launch and Michael Ann at the Shop Beer Company in Tempe. She's a huge part of what we do. She takes all the pictures for us. Myself and Dan Chenier, who's a rep for Ballast Point Brewery.
Yeah, we've had Dan Chenier on the show back when he was with Mother Road.
Yep.
Dan is my best friend, and
He is an incredible individual.
So we together have a company called Stonecutter Industries, and so that's where the calendar comes from, and that's where our Make America Warm and a few of our other charitable aspects come from. If you've ever had an opportunity to be at BRI on Halloween, we throw an incredible birthday bash.
Nice.
It is.
It's his birthdays.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's also standing room only. I noticed how he left that out, but I'm just saying.
We're reaching that point.
It is a good time. I mean,
he has that many.
Unfortunately, we were only going to do we did
I don't
it
get to
trilogy
say that
style
about
like a
the
movie.
Okay.
We did it trilogy style for a movie, and then so we did our third one this last year. So I think we've hung up the hat on it, but we'll probably do some more stuff in the future. We're just. It feels selfish to live this life and not just do everything in your power to give back every day.
Yeah.
To kind of encapsulate the mood.
And to do it with beer
That's great.
makes
Yeah.
it that much easier and more fun.
Right.
Like, we're happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. And I'm
And
glad
my
you guys
boss just stole my
continued
beer.
it.
Yeah.
I definitely did because
But
it's
I
getting
can't-
dry
I can't
because I
be
like to
mad
hear
at
myself talk.
Yeah. I watched you just sitting there, just getting all lonely. So he kind of had to. It was just like,
I'm enjoying mine.
Yeah.
It's very good.
Yeah, I mean,
have some of yours.
it's
I'll share.
it's a delightful beer.
It's a lifestyle. That's the one thing. The day he hired me, it's a lifestyle, and I appreciate it.
Sharing is caring, Sam. Sharing is caring.
And Mandy just shared her beer with me.
yeah.
Good.
It ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. I'm pretty sure that's what Nate Dogg meant by that.
The
Right?
poet Nate Dogg, definitely a great quote.
Yeah.
I'll drink a little of that.
Yeah.
I love the Beer Institute. You
some
brought that
out
up,
for
and I'm
the
like,
homies
I
in my
love
pint
that.
You're in the pint glass.
Oh, the Beer
Yeah.
Research Institute.
I love the Beer Institute.
Yeah, my wife works there. She was just by here a second ago.
It's conveniently right next to AMC Mesa Grand, so
Exactly.
I can go there, have flights, and then go watch a movie.
Yeah. Have a couple. Yeah.
It's
A
great.
few drinks. Use your movie pass.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Exactly.
For sure. And I mean, if you're in any way subversive to the government, it's a great place to hang out with like-minded people.
Yeah.
I mean, hashtag taxation theft is on the bottom of every receipt. Super
Nice.
fun.
So I caused a huge argument because I went there before I went to see Star Wars. And they did a huge thing. They changed some of their names to do Star Wars themed, and it was great and hilarious.
They actually, they made One-Handed Jedi
They did-
specifically
they
for that
made-
release.
yeah.
Nice.
The beer, yeah.
Yeah, they made that.
Which was
beer.
good. It was
Oh,
good. But they had some other ones that they did some fun names
Oh,
for.
no, for sure.
Yeah, and it was great.
They always do a big fun stuff for Star Wars.
Yeah. But
Has anybody ever gotten a one-handed Jedi? It's pretty good.
That IPA is delicious.
Involves
sir.
a tickle. I'm not going to tell where.
Just close your eyes.
Just close your eyes.
Go to your safe space.
But I went in there and I started making like arguments of like, hey, they could do better in certain aspects. Like I love the new Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Everyone here knows. But I just made the comments and like one guy got really mad.
Was it me?
No, it was not you.
Oh, okay.
It's not you.
Can be.
I
I
was yelling at someone in BRI about Star Wars the other day, so it could have been me.
Yeah.
I just wanted to start an argument about it. So one guy got really mad at me because he thought I was saying that they were bad, which was not my statement. I just said they could do some aspects better because I know that the books aren't canon, but there's stuff in the books that would make the movies better.
Yeah, there was stuff.
They're
I heard
taking
from
their
the book.
comments
All the Marvel
back.
stuff is.
So I like what you touched on here.
Yeah.
And so here's an incredible point. So for those of us that are a little in the advanced years, the original trilogy is our home, right? Because look at it. So
I'm only a year older
4
than
through
the
6 is my original trilogy.
Yeah.
My brother's original trilogy is 1 through 3, and then my daughter's is going to be 7 through 9, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Plus 3.5.
Rogue One, I felt was like that story that should have just like kind of always been told that never really kind of was.
Yeah.
It's like you know exactly what happened. They say it in the first like 10 minutes of the first movie. But they took that and they took the storytelling process and they made it this incredible thing. But
yeah.
The best part was you knew how it ended, but you still thought like, man, there's a chance it's not going to end that way.
You still know, going in it's a Shakespearean tragedy, and there's a part of you that attaches to these incredible polarizing characters, and you want it to like. You're like, no, like they're going to make it out and they'll pop up in like 8. You're like, you're justifying it in your head because it actually fucking means that much to you. You know what I mean?
I want it to so bad.
And so to pivot from that, the EU, I've read a ton of it, like I, Jedi and the Darksaber series, and like, Kevin J. Anderson with Splinter of the Mind's Eye, like back in the 80s, like has contributed a ton to the Star Wars, collective, collective universe. Even, they had said at one point, Shadows of the Empire, which was an exclusive game for the Nintendo 64, was official canon.
Yeah.
Right. And then, Disney buys it and changes stuff like that. But to your point, when you have EU canon and then, you have regular stuff and people are like, well, that's not. So I have an interesting comparison. The Walking Dead. Follow me. Follow me.
I like this already.
When you have incredible, not good, not okay, not great, incredible source material, to ignore it is nearly a travesty to the storytelling process itself. Mm-hmm. I don't need you to Zack Snyder 300 spill comic panels onto the screen. I've seen that. It's incredible. Yeah. I don't need that every time. What I need is a respect to like good material and how you're going to like.
I hate that show.
I agree.
There's
it
so
sucks.
much possibility. There's so much good that could come from the Walking
Dead. I have a huge hate-love relationship with that show, and I loved it because
everyone continues to watch it.
Well, right. I mean, losing my virginity could have been better, but I can't take it back. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So,
and that's why you get mad watching The Walking Dead. It's like
I get mad, and then like the newest seasons, they've like honored seasons like 5 and 6, were like the most comic book iconic. And then I'm like, I've been so mad at you for like 2 seasons. Like, why are you doing this?
They just pull like little key points from the comic book, and then they're just like,
all it takes is one to drag you back in. All you non-believers.
That one little.
So
little point.
I do.
Oh, this is a good show again.
I have an enormous problem with the fact that. So here's something interesting for people who watch Walking Dead, whether you care or not. In the comics, Carl doesn't die for a long time. He's awesome.
Nor should he die at all.
And when he dies in the comics, it is a.
He should have learned enough, and he won. That's it. That's how it happens.
He should have died. He should have died.
I love it.
It's great.
But he died a gangster's death. That's all there is to it.
I know.
It's a bet that Carl won't die.
And then, sorry.
Spoilers.
Sorry.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, I'm not even talking about Carl. My bad. Dale, not Carl. Is Carl dead? I don't even know. Dale.
I hope so.
Dale dies in season 2 in the show. In the comics, he lasts until issue 88.
Yeah, he's in
which
there a
is
while.
whoa.
He's in
Yeah,
there a
he
while.
marries Andrea. Like it's this whole like they changed like that part, but there's a scene where there's a new character who they give Dale's death to, where he's like, being eaten by the cannibals, and he just laughs at him.
Show you mean.
Yeah, in the show they give that death to another character, which means they knew that was great source material, but they didn't utilize it when they knew they should have been feeding a fan base, right? So I thought a long time ago that we had all proved that fanboys make or break nerddom, right? That if you want to live in the so superheroes and Star Wars and let's just call it the geek era. That like westerns, that era of film was 70 years long. 70 years.
It lasted forever.
A long time. We're not even 20 years in, bro. Like, we can do some really incredible stuff.
I hope so.
And I don't mind a rehash of something if it comes with originality, a take. When you listen to Jake Tran talk to Kevin Smith for 2 episodes about the Fantastic Four movie he directed, and then the one that comes out, you can see how, they just try to pander to the lowest common denominator.
Right.
And it's not healthy, I think.
Okay, first of all, we still need a good Fantastic Four.
Well, we're casting. We're
It's
casting.
The original was done improperly?
That's what I'm saying. Because he's only Deadpool now.
He's cool.
But-
He's great.
But he's just Deadpool. We need a
they're just putting him
good
in everything.
Fantastic Four.
He's great for comedy. But he's
That's fine, but we need
So-
a good Fantastic Four.
I agree. I mean, I didn't know that the first one was done incorrectly, but that's just me.
The one with Chickless and all that? Or are you
No.
talking about
The other
the
one.
90s with Roger Corbin?
The Doomed
Yeah.
one, yes.
You know what?
No, obviously.
For
Well,
what
what's
it
funny
is,
is
that's
that
not
was the
terrible.
most accurate Doctor Doom on screen, the most
my God,
accurate
yeah.
thing on
Yes.
screen. That was actually the most accurate looking the Fantastic Four have ever been.
Yeah.
Granted, everything else was horrible. Yes, you're right. So I mean, the Thing can be literally anybody, right? I mean, Dwayne
Yeah.
The Rock Johnson probably.
I picked John Cena.
No, his face
Oh,
is too
John
big.
Cena, even
John
better.
Cena
John
can
Cena
do
would be
that.
the perfect thing.
Well, actually, there's only one problem. He would be perfect.
You can't. No, he should be the Invisible Woman because you
But
can't
then
see him.
Exactly. He would need.
Yeah.
So they need to gender swap the Invisible Woman because you
Yeah.
can't see him.
Yes.
And then they need to make the Thing
John Cena's
a
theme
woman.
music.
Let's throw it at China. Keep it wrestling.
Yeah.
Hefty. Oh. I thought that's what he was doing.
So
He does those two.
we need a good Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah.
So who Reed Richards has to carry the Fantastic
Krasinski.
Four.
John Krasinski.
John
Yeah.
Krasinski is a perfect Reed Richards. He was almost
Reed
Captain
Reed.
America and did not want to get in that
Well, 'cause
good a
my
shape.
argument was we
That's
haven't
why
had
he
a
didn't
good
do it.
Fantastic Four.
He saw how
Which
Chris
is a
Evans looked.
shame.
He's like, no, I can't do
Because
this. I can't
like-
be
They
better
tried
than
to do
that.
it 3 times.
So he backed away from it. He'd
So
be a great
You're
Reed
saying
Richards.
John Krasinski
Yeah.
runs Reed. So okay, and I'm not against your choice. It's a solid
Sure.
pick.
Who you got?
So, but no.
no. I mean, not in a combative way. Just in a, like, we've been wanting to do an episode
Yeah,
like this for a long
Oh,
time.
I mean,
so this is just for fun.
I've actually never had anyone pick for this. Every other thing in Marvel for sure, but
I've got one other choice.
Fire Under the Pizza is my favorite thing. So,
He said that.
Invisible
And then
Woman.
they said John Cena.
What's her name?
that's where
Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story.
Okay.
Give her Invisible Woman.
Okay, I can get behind that.
First of all,
got
stop
2 shows
making the
going on
Fantastic Four so fucking young.
Yes.
Why do they keep making them younger?
They're not
They are
children.
scientists who are experts in their fields.
And space travel. Yeah.
They're smarter than the last group.
You don't need to shout.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
This requires
Passionate.
shouting.
Passionate.
You're just super passionate. Just bring
Super
it down.
passionate.
in your direction.
Yeah.
I know. That's
But
why
yeah,
I
they,
asked you to stop.
they should be a mature group, though.
No, yeah.
Outside of Johnny Storm, you could make him younger, but not.
So Johnny Storm, in my eyes, because I'm a Silver Age guy, right?
Sure.
So Johnny Storm, in my eyes, was always the young buck. That you didn't want to give credit to, who just came in, was like naturally good at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the jock of being an astronaut, right?
Sure.
So
Should be the
Reed-
youngest.
Yeah. Oh, of course. And Reed and Susan and
Ben.
Ben. Should all be seasoned scientists, right?
Yeah.
Like, the whole point is that Johnny is Susan's younger sister.
Right.
Or, sorry,
Younger brother.
We got you.
Well, I'm still in the John Cena stuff. Yeah. Obviously, he's going to be the Invisible Woman. Marvel, you're welcome. Kevin Feige, give me a job, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
All of us, we'd all like a job. You steal our ideas anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that you could do anyone who's buff and a good actor is the thing. And I feel that like every era's had it. There's Arnold, there's The Rock. And luckily we've been blessed, and people can say what they want about Arnold. Go back in his catalog, find me where he's horrible. I mean, there's questionable, but he's done some great work. And The Rock clearly did much better work later on, and there
was a different standard set for him too.
Well, for sure, but
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Go back
Yeah.
and you watch End of Days, you watch Go back and fucking watch Total Recall, man.
Oh, no, that's
Right?
a good movie.
And
I'm
tell
not
me
bitching
after
on
you
that movie.
watch 3 powerhouse actors with an unlimited budget do that movie that Arnold's wasn't better. Tell me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hey, man, he's the governor.
well, that's a whole different thing.
Hey,
Right.
he
And-
made it.
and
American
Days-
Dream, man.
Not bad.
He made it.
And what was the other one? The one with Michael Rappaport, where they kept making the clones.
Oh, that was the Sixth Day.
Yeah,
Day.
that wasn't bad either.
No, that
Sixth
was
Day, totally on my radar, dude. I mean, that was topical for the time. That was when the sheep first got cloned.
Yeah.
Even if you heard it was bad, are you not going to see an
It's still
Arnold
fun.
Schwarzenegger movie?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in 2017, the answer is no. No, I'm not.
Right.
But back in the 90s, like Sam's
Well, it's
point,
2018
Well,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
His more recent movie could have been stolen from a book I helped
2018
write,
you can
but
watch.
See, and that's the thing. I watched
Yes.
his first movie out of
It's on
retirement. It was all right. The Last Stand or whatever. It was all right. It was funny.
Yeah.
And then
Hulu if you can't
he
afford
did
it.
the Expendables, and I was like, I think he's done.
that's just
But,
a big goof anyway. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he was in one scene? So yeah.
All right. So we got John Cena, Invisible Woman. We got random wrestlers, The Thing. I really think that Johnny Storm is what makes the dichotomy between Reed Richards and the rest of the team work, right? Because Susan Storm is Reed's wife and Johnny's sister, and those are two intense bonds, and she's always got to pick and choose.
Yeah.
Reed is the old
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
Reed is the methodical scientist.
Yep.
Johnny is the hot shot who just is got natural talent. Ben is the tragic best friend, right? So if we're gonna have someone like John Krasinski, right? That's how you say it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. No,
And I'm not opposed
I
to
see it in
Sarah
my head.
Paulson.
Yeah.
I
So
think that's
no.
a good-
And
no,
great
no.
cast.
That's what we're
Great
talking
cast. So no, this is my whole point. It's all coming back. So who plays? Like I can see John Krasinski being aged up a little bit for the film, getting some crow's feet like they did to Homeboy from what was it, Nip Tuck, who played the Jessica Alba one.
Oh,
Reed
yeah.
Richards. Whatever
Oh,
that guy's
yeah.
name is.
No,
Ian Graffolder or whatever his name is. Yeah.
that was a cavalcade of Fox TV stars. I mean,
Yeah.
For sure. So, but you do that kind of same movie magic. You get John Krasinski, maybe 8 years older.
I mean, he's what, 40 years old? He
Yeah.
probably
Yeah,
without
yeah.
movie makeup, he probably kind of looks like that.
Maybe even. So the question is to make a great Fantastic Four movie, and we'll just assume that's a great
Alex
cast.
Phillips.
Who's Johnny Storm?
Derek Huff.
Who?
He looks like he'd be a Johnny
Yeah, he does.
Storm. He does.
Derek Huff,
Young, good-looking blonde kid.
like the Dancing with the Stars
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, that guy.
I knew.
I only kind of know who he is because his sister is super hot and was
Yeah.
also on the show. Yeah.
I don't know.
Who I kind of thought about for a
Julianne
Susan
Hough,
Storm, but
the
she
guy.
was.
Or the girl.
Yeah. My wife had to show them to me.
I was an Adam Carolla listener, so Julianne Hough was his partner on the show.
Pending a
Super
Google.
hot. Oh
search.
yeah, he'll
I
Google
might
it.
agree with these guys.
You'll Google
Sure.
plenty. What about the kid that was in Jumanji just now? He's like a boy band kid, but he was really good.
Oh, Nick
Jonas.
Jonas.
Yeah,
Nick
Nick
Jonas.
Yeah, that
He's so young, though.
That Jonas kid has actually started quite the
Jonas
movie
brother,
career,
or
right?
Like a
Yeah.
Jonas is his first name.
Nick
No,
Jonas.
No.
He's one of the Jonas
He's one of
brothers.
the Jonas
Yeah,
brothers.
he's the youngest
yeah,
one.
I think he has like 4 or 5 movies under his belt now.
He does.
He would be a good one.
He was
Yeah.
in Hawaii
But he
Five-O
was good in that
for a minute,
movie.
too,
He
I
could
believe.
look almost 30. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he might be almost 30, honestly.
Right.
So yeah,
Close to there.
he could look right for that.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
great in Jumanji. I was surprised.
Yeah. So there you go.
Shocked.
I'll take that one.
Yeah,
We
I
actually
mean,
seen him do something.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, I think the new Spider-Man casting goes to show that, I mean, throwing it at young, hungry actors pays off. I mean, that
It's
kid went
so
and developed
good.
a Queens-specific New York accent with Spider-Man in 6 movies has never had until now.
Right.
And he's from fucking Queens, New York. How did that ever get missed?
Yeah.
You know, I
It
mean,
wasn't
they didn't
missed.
miss any of that in Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, all those shows. They nailed Hell's Kitchen. They got New York.
Yeah.
And then for Sam Raimi at the helm, they're missing this. Like, I love
Yeah.
Sam Raimi, and like, yeah, Bruce Campbell's like your gold mine, but like, read the room, Sam Raimi. God damn it. No one needs Venom, who's one of the coolest villains of all time, not just because I'm tattooed, but because he just is.
Right.
And it's interesting, and you kill him quicker than he's introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Because he was mad at the
such a-
studio.
People that
all.
don't know who Venom is hate him before they can even learn anything about him.
Right.
They see him and they're like, all right, he's done because
Yeah, that's
he's in out. And,
Black Spider-Man, I don't like it.
yeah, and he was introduced in an emo Spider-Man.
That Spider-Man's a menace. Bring me his pictures.
He's a menace. I tell you, he's what's wrong with my marriage. You know, I mean, yeah, you know, it's that whole deal, and that's why I tend to like the Watchmen stuff, because
You need
One
some more
second.
darkness in your.
that's exactly it. So the Watchmen, that's my jam, man. Like that shit won a Hugo Award. Alan Moore is also the kind of dude who doesn't even take credit for like intellectual property. He's like, I pull from an ether of stories and I just put them to paper. That motherfucker wrote From Hell, V for Vendetta, Leave Extraordinary Gentlemen. I'm not talking about those shitty movies. I'm talking about incredible fucking works of art that were put to paper. And the Watchmen and all of those works he does just takes heroes and exposes them. Like, Sean Connery's character in The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen should have been an opium addict. Like, people are fucking flawed. Like, all I try to do is give back and give to charity, but I'm still a cunt. It's fine. Like, we're complex creatures, and
see him every next
and having to see so many people put on a pedestal all the time to be, you know, that perfect body image, that perfect, you know, give back image, that perfect heroic image, all of that shit. Like, I don't need that. What I need is someone who fucks up and like picks his life up together and gets on with it the next day.
See, that's been
What
my.
happened to the dark comics? Like, where were we going to get these dark, like...
They went away with
Yeah.
fourth place trophies, bro.
That's been my issue.
Everything's been targeted... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but everything's targeted towards these younger crowds. Like, give the adults some...
Usually I'm the one that
angry
gets super political,
comic
but
movies.
Yeah.
That's been my issue with Superman.
Yeah, this is me
Yeah.
just talking towards my boss.
no, I was just saying usually I am the one that gets crazy political, but
That's been my issue
But fuck
forever. I don't like Superman. I'm not a huge Captain America. I like him in the MCU because Chris Evans plays him flawed. He doesn't relate to
and
current
conflicted and
Yeah.
and doesn't understand his place in
He-
time. And in the comics, he's so cocksure and like
Yes.
America.
and that drives me nuts. I don't get it. Like that, no person's like that. And so I've never been a Superman person. I've never been a Captain America person. I've come around in the MCU because I like how they're doing with Chris Evans, his thing with Bucky. Like, there's layers, but like onion layers. But up until like Justice League is the first movie I've liked Superman in, and only because it was like, oh no, I'm taking down these people because I saw Batman and that guy put me down, and I'm not happy with that. Like, it's the first time we've seen any character
Full
development.
disclosure, I have not seen Justice League.
Oh my god, go watch it.
Yeah, and you can spoil whatever you want. If anyone at DC is listening, just let that be a message of how much of a priority that shit was for me.
Yeah.
It looks incredible. I want to see it. Love. I'm not shitting on it at all. I love Ben Affleck as Batman. I think it's the
Yeah, finally.
Yes.
hot
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck is the best Batman ever. Also,
I'm not the only one to say it.
I will defend that
hilarious.
on mic while
I'm totally
simultaneously
kidding.
defending that
Don't.
Batman
It'd be
Returns is single-handedly the worst Batman movie in existence. Worse than Batman and Robin. Batman Returns.
I liked
Worst Batman movie in existence.
I liked Batman.
It's pretty
Returns.
bad.
Listen,
I don't know.
When you go back
wanna
and
like
watch
too,
it,
No,
but here's the
I
deal.
didn't like Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. We can all agree that Batman and Robin sucks. Let's shelve that. Cool.
It sucks.
Batman Returns, you got to get two things right about Batman, right? He dresses like a bat and he doesn't kill people. Pretty easy. So in Batman Returns, not only is he fucking murdering the Penguin's henchmen. Outright.
He's smiling about it.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
He ties a bomb to a guy, throws him down a hole, blows him up,
and then smirks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Wrong.
the thing that bothers me the most is you have Catwoman, one of the most incredible, complex
Still
anti-heroes in the entire.
Never been appropriately like.
Well, see, and exactly, never been. I mean, I thought that the Anne Hathaway Catwoman kind of gave her some power and some wiggle room.
Yeah,
I thought that movie was awful.
Killed it,
Yeah.
but so Michelle Pfeiffer, great Catwoman. Except here's the problem: you take a character like that who has this incredible growth and this personality and this anti-hero and they're complex and then and they're fierce and they're a woman who's like half the size of Batman, keeping toe-to-toe with the world's greatest detective and the world's most physically fit man. So much to the point that in modern DC, they labeled him as a meta-human. He's in so much shape that he takes care of his body. They explain all of her abilities and moxie and chutzpah and all that shit because she fell and she's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking cool. Cool, man. Like, you take an incredible character, you get the most iconic Catwoman costume of all fucking time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe next to Julie Newmar from fucking, Batman 66, right?
Yeah.
So that stitched leather, like Michelle
It was cool.
Pfeiffer, 90s body, like skin tight Catwoman body, that's iconic. The sewing needle, like claws, like it was just so clever. And then it's all like she's all these things because she's crazy. And then Batman's killing people. And then,
She has to be crazy as her character.
she can be, no,
She has to inevitably be.
only if she's a villain, though. Batman's villains are
Has to be a
crazy.
villain. She has to be a villain.
But she's not Batman's villain.
But that's what I'm saying. is that
60
she
years
has
of
to be a
history
villain.
has proved that she's not.
If she's never a villain, then what is her character?
She's an anti-hero. She's the confliction in Batman's corner. She's to Batman what Black Cat is to Spider-Man. Call Black
Yes,
Cat.
I like
Call
that.
Black
I like
Cat.
that.
Call Black Cat a villain right now, and you'll be wrong. You'll be wrong.
I like that, but what I'm seeing with the Black Cat, though, is that she's stronger than Black Widow.
Well,
She's more in control of herself. She's less concerned about how she afflicts Spider-Man or Batman. Both characters acknowledged. She's more in control than the Black Widow. The Black Widow is literally there to kind of fight Spider-Man.
Black Cat. But yes. So.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry,
No.
Black Cat.
You're fine. I just want to clarify for anyone listening. So, yeah, no, the Black Cat is always kind of there. But, I mean, the Black Cat does have an incredible backstory. I mean, she's a cat burglar, much like Catwoman. I mean, not that Marvel and DC were all original back in the day.
Sure.
And she's always there to kind of tempt him sexually and kind of like, like flirt with him and then like just kind of bounce off in the night. And then she's like committing crimes, but not crimes that like harm people or their property. So it conflicts a hero who's like, so like Spider-Man's trying to like prevent like, the funny thing about Spider-Man is he's always like tangling up bank robbers and shit when he should be like,
Sure.
stop Dr. Octopus from murdering people. But like, heroes are fighting people from like murdering people, and the Black Cat and Catwoman, they're not killing people. They're not, I mean, spoilers. I'm anti-state.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've always had a
Can I
belief.
get that on record?
It's right
Yeah,
here.
just-
the record's right here.
Yeah, the NSA's already got it. It's fine.
Record.
But I mean, when you talk about like logistically lawfulness, right? I mean, you're talking about if you're not harming me or my property or my person, then fuck off about it, right?
Right.
And so the Black Cat and Catwoman and even Black Widow to a degree in Marvel, those are all characters that kind of point to that thought process. Like, yeah, you're breaking in and stealing from corporations, which are fucking over citizens based on a corrupt government. Like,
You're doing bad
they're
stuff.
not villains.
You're doing bad stuff, but the bad stuff
It's
you're doing
called civil disobedience.
is kind of
I'm pretty sure Black Widow said, "Hey, they're insured."
a large majority of people would be like, wow.
A large majority of people would also be like, hey, Superman, why did you kill 500,000 people to lazily not kill an alien that was murdering all of
I kind of want to
us?
see where you're going with this. I kind of want to see where you're going with this.
Cool, let's buckle in.
So,
He just grabbed that microphone like he's ready to take you down.
so I'm not even going to start with Superman because that's too easy because everyone's seen that movie. I'm going to start with Batman and why he is personally responsible for blood on his hands. So, Batman's code of conduct, right? It's great in theory. Don't kill. Cool. So after the second time Joker has escaped, every single person the Joker did. And that applies to every single villain. He's locked up in Arkham. The fact that Arkham is corrupt, the fact that the police are corrupt. If you read enough Batman, you know for a fact that Batman is just delusional to the fact that he just needs to kill all of these lunatics. And I'm a pacifist by nature, and I'm not objecting the murder of people without a trial. However,
Everyone you
if
kill,
you are
your
literally
blood
a
is
human
on his
being,
hands.
if you're a human being made of subatomic cold cells and you murder people and it's because you're mad that your wife is frozen and you can't resurrect her, maybe that guy should be put to death. If you're a crazy clown that just murders people, maybe you're fueled by diamonds. Who knows? But like, let's say you're the Joker, or like the Calendar Man is the single craziest Batman villain. Him and Zaz is right.
Victor Zaz, yeah.
Yeah. So Calendar Man is crazy because if you look into the history, Batman has almost never even like attempted to stop this dude. Every once in a while, he like stumbles into his bullshit and locks him up. But this dude like murders people on calendar like dates for reasons, and he. And I mean, you look at any calendar and how many things there are to celebrate. You've played any of the games, you've read the comics. This dude has murdered hundreds of people. And Batman just keeps locking him up. Oh, Arkham's free again because the warden's corrupt. Batman is an irresponsible asshole.
He's actually kind of selfish.
He is the UN of the DC universe.
He's kind of selfish. He wants to keep on. He wants to keep on doing it, and he only wants to do it himself too.
Listen, it sounds like he's ego-driven to be the hero.
Yeah. He's a cunt.
Brothers who died in the skiing accidents. And you're like I care so much. I care so much, but you're dead.
I care so much.
Oh God, that's funny.
Don't glorify Batman.
I literally started this entire conversation shitting all over Batman.
He doesn't deserve it. Exactly.
Yeah.
No. Batman's a great thought experiment, just like Superman's a great thought experiment.
Yes.
You're Superman, and like, if you're not literally rescuing every person you can hear in distress every single second you're existing, how are you not a piece of shit, right? How do you not?
Then why do you have that fucking job?
It's not even a job.
It is a job.
He's not getting paid. It's not a job.
Regardless of having a suit or not, he can still hear people.
Responsibility.
He can still hear people dying.
Yeah.
He can't turn that off.
He can't stop it. People die every day from natural stuff.
But if you subjected any mental brain to like rescue, be constantly inundated with the horrors of human behavior, like that person's gonna go fucking nutty in like a week.
Oh yeah.
Or like 2 days.
So I mean, realistically, we're not expecting
Death on
Superman
aisle
to be
4.
like,
Can we get a
in full
cleanup?
mode
Death on
or-
aisle 4.
God damn it, we're Superman.
That's gnarly. That's an insane.
That would be awful. I always have thought that the theory of Superman and how they wrote him is flawed. Because like the super hearing and the super eyesight and the
He's getting beat up by
he's so
magic
fucking
like
perfect.
all the time. Like,
But
like,
I can't touch this little rock. But I mean, this is going back to the movies. But like, I'm gonna lift an island made of it.
So,
But it's a rare rock. But there's a fucking island.
So here's the biggest flaw in all of the Superman history, right? So Kryptonite is literally just rocks from Krypton, right?
All right.
Where he's from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where he's from.
Where he's from.
That is just a fact.
And everybody seems to be able
No
to
one has ever clarified if they're like different than normal Krypton. I read Last Days of Krypton written by Kevin J. Anderson, which is considered canon to be the Last Days of Jor-El. Kryptonite is literally just pieces of rock from Krypton, which blew up because of, well, no one was listening to climate change. There's some parallels.
Yeah.
Al Gore, you should have invented the internet faster.
Why did you tell us
So,
about the internet
but here's the
earlier?
thing. No, but like when the lost city of Kandor is found, right? That's the
For those of you that don't know, that's the city on Krypton that was miniaturized and stolen by Brainiac, who's the construct, and then eventually comes back into play to introduce more Kryptonians into the universe. So here's the deal. How is it that a rock on a planet that you're from will weaken your superpowers? I get. I'll give you that. But kill you? Come the fuck on. So I'm supposed to expect if Superman on his home planet fell down and took a splinter of rock under his foot and murder him in 10 minutes?
Well, but what if that rock is also affected by the yellow sun?
Yeah.
There's that.
The yellow sun.
By the yellow sun. The way Superman.
So the yellow sun has an effect on it.
So what you're saying is, what if every Kryptonian cell from core to atmosphere is affected by yellow rays?
Right.
Cool, if it was ever canon, but it's not.
It's not. But
so,
yes,
but here's the thing.
There's a reasonable
they have tons
thing.
of explanations for lots of other stuff, but they've just never mentioned why a rock that's from where he's from kills him. So, let's say, for instance, Superman discovered, let's say the Australia of Krypton that somehow sustained its atmosphere and is floating through space. Theoretically, with canon existing, he lands on it, stands on it, dies. It's kryptonite. It's kryptonite.
Well, you would think then he would die inside of
kryptonite. I think standing on it's fine. It's just if it's for too long.
He can stand.
That's where I'm at. Because
being near
a
a
universe where you can go.
I mean, there's definitely a Kevin Spacey, a Rohypnol joke somewhere in here for the Man of Steel for sure. But the kryptonite thing's always bothered me.
I hate it. It's the worst.
But also because the other weakness Superman has, and here's something that people don't understand. A lot of people are like, Superman's lame because his only weakness is kryptonite. I'm like, no, he has another weakness. And they're like, oh, really?
Not
and I'm like,
sunlight.
Let me introduce how fucking lame it is. It's magic. Magicians. Like Superman's fighting the Hulk or Doomsday. Even just Superman and Doomsday beat each other to death.
I can't wait for Harry. Superman
but Zatanna says, Superman, stop walking, and he falls down. You know what I mean?
I've never liked Superman, so.
Superman was clearly written by someone who was not in control of their own life.
Well, J.K. Rowling is winning right now.
No. I mean, think about it, right? All comic books are representative of the people who write them. I mean, that's
pretty much the Depression era. So
Superman is clearly written by someone who had no control in their own life and wanted to help people and couldn't and felt helpless. That is a fact. And, the Hulk is, you listen to Stan Lee. That is written by a Stan Lee who couldn't figure out how to control his rage, and that shit's all there.
Yeah.
And so they're written by these deeply flawed human beings, which makes them, back to the point originally, good. But there's so much incredible source material out there that Superman can go fuck off.
Also,
right? This isn't 1950 where Superman is one of four options.
These greatest superhero or human heroes have died in the comic books. We already know they're going to die at some point. We just are waiting for them to. We're seeing them in these movies, and everyone's seeing them for the first. These younger generations are seeing for the first time.
Yeah.
So I think these older generations are
Well, they always bring him back to life in the comics.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
Except my boy.
I'm just saying, there's a couple of these guys have died.
Yeah, they killed Wolverine, and I've been Wolverine obsessed my entire life.
Well,
dude, but Logan was so good. Did you see on the wall? No, I saw it on your own.
Oh, yes, I see.
But I'm saying the picture's sick.
Yes.
Again, if
I saw it.
Marvel Comics presents 168 number 2. So Logan deserves an Oscar, and fuck anyone who doesn't think so.
Right? Yeah.
Hugh Jackman gave every fucking ounce of everything he's ever had into that role, and if you understand what that role has meant to him over time beyond a superhero movie, he took everything into that movie. He said he would come back for Old Man Logan or for the Hulk vs. Wolverine.
Yeah.
So I mean, now that Disney can do it, here's hoping, right? But
I have no idea.
I don't know, but Logan was so good. I don't know if I want to
But also here's the thing. So here, again, here's a source material argument, right? So they kill Wolverine, and I've been following. I own Wolverine #1 in 9.8 condition. It is my fucking jam. He is complex. He is the anti-hero. He is he is tortured. He is haunted. He is everything. He is the most. He's the most complicated hero in the industry. They kill him, and my only thought is just leave him dead. If you're gonna kill him, do me the service and just fucking leave him alone.
Or now we're just trying to
and
pay
now,
Jackman more money.
And now he's dead. In the comics, they just left him dead. You know, his daughter has taken up the mantle.
He's
back. Gone.
Yeah.
There's a whole all new Wolverine, and like that's it. You know, Wolverine is now a woman, and it's Wolverine's daughter, and that's a great direction for the movies to go. They set that up in Logan X-23. You know, and there's this whole like path.
He's back in the comics.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
Huh?
he's already back.
We'll see Hugh Jackman and
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I took 6 months off reading.
Yeah.
I know that Old Man Logan was running around.
Is he not?
Which I wasn't a fan of. I liked Logan the movie better than the Old Man Logan comic book.
See, the Old Man Logan, the original Old Man Logan 10-issue run.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
Really?
Spidey Jeep, 90-year-old Hawkeye, Red Skull still alive for reasons, Shitty Hulk kids. I mean, it's just all, like, the villain's Mysterio. Like, come the fuck on. Like, that doesn't make, none of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
But it's captivating somehow.
But I guess my problem is Mark Millar just took his Wanted story and just made it a Marvel story. Here, all the villains got together, now they run it. Really? And Doctor Doom's just cool with hanging out in Kansas?
To be fair, Mark Millar wanted to do that first, right?
Maybe.
Well, no.
He probably did, but still.
He said that.
But he still did it twice.
He wanted to do Old Man Logan first, and Wanted was basically. He said that Wanted was his resume, right?
Okay.
For Old Man Logan.
Okay.
And Mark Millar is just an incredible writer, like Jeffrey Loeb and God, who's Joe Quesada, and like just some of the iconic modern writers. So I mean, Old Man Logan had its flaws, no doubt. Mainly the whole like neutering of Wolverine based on a single battle. I mean, you're talking about a man who has like been blasted to his skeleton and back
multiple times. Yeah.
Well, it's not even about unkillability. It's the fact that like so. I mean, 10-year spoilers. In the Old Man Logan comics, you know, basically the story is he's old as shit. All the heroes are dead. He hasn't popped his claws in 50 years because he's just trying not to do it, you know, and because of that, villains have kind of taken over. But the reveal is, at the end, is that he is the one that killed them all. Because Mysterio, for reasons that aren't clear, which is still kind of clever, because it does...
Big talk about Mysterio.
So Mysterio tricks him, and he thinks that he's fighting, like, all of the villains in the X-Men headquarters.
That's true.
And murders, like, everybody. Leaves the whole world unable to help itself, feels guilt, puts his neck down on a train track. Train hits him, obviously derails because of his adamantium skeleton, kills all those people.
Which is great. Which is great.
Which is phenomenal. And then that breaks his spirit for reasons that aren't clear. And that's my biggest rub with that whole series. The Spidey Jeep, I know that's Mark. Like, I'm such a fan of the storytelling process. I mean, if you want to like really take it back, Star Wars is the most basic bitch storytelling process in the world. But like,
and I just repeat it, and it fucking works.
But it's also more in depth than that somehow.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
It is.
So so when I know a storyteller and I know what the storyteller's like I just tend to get more into it, and that's not fair to people obviously who aren't fucking obsessed with this kind of shit. But
yeah.
I'm fucking talking, so I love that shit. Like, I fucking love the Spidey Jeep. I had never seen the Spidey Jeep back in the day. Like, I've read comics, obviously, but I'd never seen that thing. And to reintroduce it, and then to have Hawkeye just be blind as shit and still just like
still driving
Book of Eli shit, right? Because
Book of Eli was crazy.
Yeah, the Book of Eli and Hawkeye and Old Man Logan were the same thing in my mind, and to see like. It's almost like those what if universes, right?
Right.
But just
and if you look at
out
it,
to its
that
end
makes
story.
It interesting for the older, like the
exactly. I get more than one issue. I get more than one issue. It's not.
We get another round of comic book generation.
And to be fair, it was a good time to see Wolverine kind of written to someone who can't just solve all of his problems by being basically immortal, and just the biggest backyard scrapper on earth. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Old Man Logan was kind of like watching Kimbo Slice get knocked out. You know, it fucks with your childhood. You know what I mean?
but Kimbo Slice.
R.I.P. Logan and Kimbo.
I don't know. I mean, that's very.
Will I resonate?
It's accurate because, like,
If you weren't talking about Kimbo Slice, but
it's accurate because you go into
Cross
these
the line with
superhero
Kimbo,
movies
bro.
thinking
he
like,
got knocked out.
oh, I'm gonna love this superhero movie, and then like you go into Logan like, yeah, superheroes, and then you come out and you're like,
You expect all the good
that was not a superhero movie. I cried.
So
No.
that's where Marvel shines, right? And that's where DC hasn't
Yes.
caught on. Like, so
Yes.
I'll sidebar real quick. Kevin Feige, I mentioned that name earlier. So that used to be, well, Kevin Feige is a person. His job title used to be Marvel's continuity specialist. Also, kids, there's jobs like that they never tell you about. Continuity specialists for writers.
Yes.
Taking pictures of girls in bikinis. There are jobs they don't tell you about that you don't need college for. And if I'd have known that a continuity specialist for Marvel was a real job, I would be Kevin Feige today. Right?
Kevin Feige is.
So
Yeah,
he
what a
is
cool
now
job.
actually.
He just
So
The
research.
name is not important. The job
Well,
title is way
yeah.
better.
well, actually, it's even more incredible. So when Disney bought Marvel, he reported directly to the head of Marvel, who reported directly to the head of DC. And the dude that was the head of Marvel was the dude making all the Marvel movies on like that super kind of like lower thin budget. That guy got ousted first year, and Kevin Feige directly reports to the head of Disney moving forward, right? And so I always kind of like digress a little too far, but when Marvel makes these movies, right, they're playing a different game than DC, and DC might figure it out someday, but it hasn't been today, because what Marvel does is they're like, oh, Guardians of the Galaxy, we're not going to make a superhero movie. Let's find out what about these superheroes, like what genre does that speak to? So Guardians of the Galaxy is a space opera.
No, it is.
Clear as fucking day. Any Firefly fan who wants to say that that's not why they fucking love that movie is
No, it
either
is.
lying to themselves or to you.
The soundtrack is way better than the
For sure.
movie.
Yeah.
That was
It's all
what.
music based versus action based. Like you still have all the action, but you get a lot of other aspects involved in
Exactly, and so you have like
Character development.
Logan's a noir style, just thriller. It's a thriller. It's not even action. It's just it's maybe even suspense.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's
then
waiting for the fucking coffee.
and then I just saw that Black Lightning show coming on the TV.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Yeah.
That's clearly going to be a campy style kind of deal. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was very procedural. What they do is they latch genres to their brands. The Thors, the Hulks. Hulk.
Well, I mean, you
Hulk
have
is never a great
Ant-Man.
solo movie, but they took a risk and they did World War Hulk in Thor Ragnarok, and that's clearly going to work.
And it works.
Yeah, it was
And
awesome.
so what they found is that Thor and Hulk don't really work great separately, but they're a great buddy cop duo, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you see that for several movies now, and
Both of those movies go great with Grand Canyon Double IPA deep in the green.
Absolutely right.
Just so you know.
shameless plug. But that's what Marvel's doing. They're playing a different game, right? They're genre defying. They're not making everything in the same genre.
Well, that's what we go off of every time that Blogster and I talk about it. Ant-Man is a heist movie.
Great.
It's a heist movie.
There was
Winter
on
Soldier's
the
a spy movie.
Yeah, and so it's a spy movie. So, you're sitting here you're getting these comic book superheroes, but you're getting genres.
Well-
They're not just doing action films. They're doing comedies. They're doing action. They're doing spy movies. They're doing heist movies. They're putting everything in there. And, freaking...
Deadpool is technically a rom-com if you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new
Absolutely.
Spider-Man is basically that 80s comedy film
Oh,
love
it's John
story.
Hughes?
Yeah, it was a John Hughes
it's
film.
a John
Yeah.
Hughes
I was
film.
so hoping that was the direction they were going to go because
And
Peter
it was-
Parker's 16.
it's
Let him
fucking
fall in love with Gwen
perfect.
Stacy. Let me see it. Be John Hughes about it.
Even
It's
the TV
great.
shows.
It works so well, and that's
sure.
what we've missed in Spider-Man movies. Because while I like Spider-Man 1 and 2, the original Maguire movies.
Yeah,
those
they're
are fun.
fine.
3 was fucking awful. Whatever, we'll forget it. But it still didn't feel like Spider-Man to me.
No.
It just felt like some weird timepiece that fit for right there. But this is the first time I walked in and then walked out, and I was like, that was the Spider-Man that I wanted. That's the Spider-Man from cartoons, comics. That's what I wanted.
That was by Peter Parker.
Yes.
For
right?
sure.
That was by
Because-
Peter Parker, which is more important than anything else.
Everyone always tried to give you Spider-Man, but what we needed was Peter Parker, and we never had Peter Parker. We just had Spider-Man.
Because they're the same person. Because when Spider-Man's thrown around, he's like, so it's the Batman reference again, right? So when you talk to people, they'll be like, so and so is the best Batman, but such and such is the best Bruce Wayne, because they're different people.
And that's what I've been saying.
Spider-Man and Peter Parker are the same person because he's quipping and doing all the stuff that he does.
Which is what I loved when he was introduced in Civil War.
Dude,
and I just loved it when they're just like,
he's an awkward teenager, he thinks he's helping.
Yeah,
like,
well, you don't usually talk this much when you're in a fight. Oh, I'm sorry, and then comes back to fighting. It was awesome. I was like, man, this is perfect.
And that's the thing with Ben Affleck. So, like, okay, so
the
backstory.
Frank Miller Batman. God.
Backstory. When Robert Downey Jr. was announced as Iron Man, I blatantly stated, Robert Downey Jr. is perfect.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah, they cast Tony Stark.
They cast
Tony Stark, and that was my thing.
I was like, well, luckily they won't need him to act. They can just turn on the camera and call him Tony.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which was my statement.
Exactly.
A lot.
You're on camera for the last 2 hours. So.
Yeah.
And that was my statement. I was like, he is Tony Stark, which is what you need. Anyone can put the mask on and be the superhero. You need to be the persona before the mask.
You need that Kelsey Grammer beast casting, which no one thought of, but when it happens, it's the most perfect thing.
Oh my God, it was great.
And that's why Ben Affleck.
Why
I was
didn't
like,
we get more of that?
Ben Affleck.
I would have never pegged Ben Affleck for Frank Miller's Batman, but God
it works.
damn.
And that's why I said, I was like, he's going to be a decent Bruce Wayne. Because he's had to deal with the bullshit of being who he is as an actor, but then he came out as a director, and he fucking changed. And he was great as a director, and it's changed how he acted. And so I was like, oh man, he's going to do great as Bruce Wayne. They just have to give him a chance to be Bruce Wayne and not be Batman.
Yeah, he did a lot of Batmaning in his stuff.
But
and he's already kind of looking for the door because...
Yeah. Justice League, they let him be Bruce Wayne.
Did they?
Justice League, he's Bruce Wayne, not Batman. Even when he's in the Batman costume, like the I bleed, oh, something's bleeding, that was definitely Bruce Wayne, not Batman. Dude, watch Justice League. It seriously is what DC needed.
Wonder Woman was what DC needed.
Well, Wonder Woman was, but it gave them the they brought Joss Whedon in for Justice League,
which
and
is
that
a great point to
it.
pivot on how my entire point was how DC's on its way out. So,
if they leave Joss Whedon in there, it'll do great.
I love the genre differentiation that Marvel brings.
Marvel does great with
but
genres.
DC, here's a few criticisms that are very indicative of the way they do things. So, the TV shows are all the same show with different heroes.
Yeah.
No, they are. Yeah, they are.
Exactly. Flash.
But you know what? I like them all.
Legends of
I
Tomorrow.
still like them all. But they're just
I'm not saying I haven't watched every season of all of them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you're not creating a lot. You also took an immensely popular block of 4 DC shows on one channel that have huge followings, and then you fucking recast The Flash. What were you thinking?
So, no, wait. So, that was initially our problem.
You can try to justify it however you want, but
There's
that was
no
a
justifying.
business-based decision at Warner Brothers.
So, here's the thing, because that was a lot of people's issues here, because none of us defend DC. Let me illustrate that first.
Even if they're doing Infinite Universe or
multiverse.
Even if they're doing the Infinite Timeline, still don't care.
No,
shouldn't have done it
but taking out of that, like going
because they already did that in the show.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
No, going outside
Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's what it is.
Going outside of all of that, I'm gonna say this: Grant's Flash would not have fit in Justice League.
But would Grant's Flash have provided DC with what it needs, and it's a little bit of color and a little bit of comedy to all their dark, broody bullshit?
The Flash they got did that. I'm telling you.
He did a little bit of that. He still looks stupid, though.
Grant could have done that.
But
Grant would have done it better. You're right. He would have done it better.
Grant would have done it better, but it would have ruined the TV show, and that's the problem. Because then you try and tie in the movie, and then they do S.H.I.E.L.D.
But
and it's
Agents
awful.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. showed that you don't you can pick and choose where you tie in. I mean,
right.
I should illustrate this. I don't like S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't like S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't the greatest thing that's ever happened, but it did give us the Terrible Inhumans show. But that was doomed from the start because it was announced as Inhumans was announced as a movie,
right?
Turned into a show, and that was handled poorly from the get.
Well, and then just turned into a bad.
So, but what we're experiencing again, like we're in the Western style superhero genre era, right? What we're experiencing is just like with anything else. When something's working, everyone wants in on it, and when you're doing that, there are going to be people who are snake oil salesmen and sell a great product and want to undercut and cut corners. Medusa's hair, like, just why not spend the CGI and make even if it's just the first episode, right? Spend $15,000, pay those fucking baller ass digital scrubbers, and make her hair everything it was in the comics. And every once in a while, bust it out in the show. And they've done that with other heroes in the past with these crazy powers
they
and
did
stuff.
that in Buffy, like, several times.
Well, I mean, that's more of a work of art than it. I mean, and to be fair, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is up for zero criticism here. So,
and Firefly, they did that in Firefly.
Well, Joss Whedon, there's
a trend.
He has some proclivities.
There's a trend.
Watch Avengers; it's there too. But I mean, all that aside, I mean. I guess we're just talking shit in 15 different lanes for too long, but I love it all. I really do. I cannot wait to watch Justice League. I cannot wait for more episodes of The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow. Like I said, I was a product of the 80s. I was raised in the 90s. To complain about anything that they make right now feels selfish. To complain.
You're right.
To complain about the Star Wars movies is selfish because, like, that's
we didn't
for my daughter to watch them bridge my heroes into the movie. That's a fan service, right? Like,
right?
Like I said before,
and
1 through 3 is my brother's, 4 through 6 is mine, 7 through 9 is my daughter's. And what you have is you have a multi-billion-dollar company that understands the value of that product. So they're building a trilogy that they can build 20 movies out of. That they can kind of backlog everything else out on. And no one wants to talk about when, like, Carrie Fisher won't come to the table on Star Wars, none of the original cast returning, that whole, like, we all sign, no one signs, friends deal bullshit. Everyone wants to forget, just like they forgot that the entire internet lost its mind that Heath Ledger got cast as the Joker. Everyone likes to forget.
I did not.
But in the end, it all kind of worked out, right? We got to see Luke Skywalker one more time. We got to see Carrie Fisher, to cry about it. To literally have a Star Wars movie come out every day until I die, which is going to happen. To have 2 superhero movies come out every year until I die. Like, to watch my heroes come to life on screen. To watch every single bit of this happen in front of me is not great proof that the Matrix doesn't exist for me. Because I'm getting, swirlies and putting trash cans in lockers for collecting comic cards, and I'm like, 8 years old. Truly. And now... There are more episodes. There's more geekdom. There is more of this than I can ever physically consume. There was a point where there was like 6 heroes, and I'd read every comic on Earth.
Right.
And now I couldn't attempt to do just that, much less watch all the TV shows, the movies. Like I said, it feels selfish to bitch about it. I like to. This is like an incredible conversation. I always love getting in the nitty gritty of the storytelling But that said, I love every bit of this, man. I couldn't imagine a world where, like, I'd rather bitch about Batman and Robin than to have never seen it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't finish it.
And to me, that's
still
the bat nipple. The bat nipples don't even bother me. It was the bat card. It was the bat card. The credit card.
Yes.
The never leave the cave without it.
Yeah.
That took me out of it.
That
may have been out of it.
That may have been when I shut it off.
I get it, Robert Zemeckis. Like, the time that was like the quintessential viral video, commercials.
Sure.
Commercials that were super popular, I guess, were the original viral videos, and I get it. He was trying to grasp onto something, and it was. I respect the boldness, but I absolutely am horrified by the execution.
Yeah, but I am totally with you because now I'm a product of the 70s, grew up in the 80s and 90s, and you just didn't get anything. My stuff was Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on Saturday mornings.
Don't forget Blade.
Well, that came way later, though.
That's true.
I'm talking about the 80s still. I was a child in the 80s. Like, I was 4 years old when it was 1980, and I'm like,
I still think Blade was the first big push.
Blade was there. The Crow was another one.
The Blade and Crow were like the two movies that like initiated comic books.
You can do this stuff, but
like being more
But I had to
serious
suffer through
than
some bad
hokey.
Punisher
There's
movies
some
and
more
some bad.
low-key stuff from back in the day. I mean, Howard the Duck.
Howard the
And,
Duck
I mean,
was
there's
the
a
first
lot of
Marvel
like.
movie.
I'm not going to claim Howard the Duck. I'm sorry.
Really?
I'm
You know what?
no
That's
shame,
super-
no
These
shame in Howard the Duck.
These earlier times are definitely been introduced by my boss and mentor, Alexander Phillips, who he doesn't like to be labeled very often. But
I don't.
He's kind of okay, I guess.
Don't put labels on me. You're all right. I like
Alexander
it.
Phillips, he lives at this address.
Oh, don't do that. I'll kill you. The NSA already knows where I live. Oh, it's fine. No need to do their job for them. No, but I mean, it's great, and what a great place to be talking, about General Nerdum. What I'm really hoping is that they someday find the 5-player X-Men cabinet.
Oh man.
One of my
On it.
all-time favorite cabinets.
That'd be great.
We're at the grid, right? So I mean, obviously talking about these kind of games makes sense, and it was one of the first things I looked for when I came in here. Not that I expected them to have it. I mean, it's
He's still got
it's
the 4-player Ninja
Dude,
Turtle,
I'm telling
though.
you, Matt could probably
I'm
make
built-
it happen.
Well, actually, I'm building. So, spoilers. Our brewery expanded. We told you that. So we have some. We have to do something with the old space, right?
Yeah.
So we've talked long enough. This makes sense. Brewcade.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a nerd. So I bought an original, both mint condition, original era Kiss pinball machine,
Yes.
T2 pinball machine.
You get an invitation.
I love both of those pinball machines.
I was given a 4-player Gauntlet arcade cabinet, original condition.
That's crazy.
I'd actually sourced it for him and had it like I'm like that guy in prison, except
Grand
no one ever put me in
Canyon
prison.
Brewery and Distillery, your new destination location.
Always great when I talk about prison right before. But seriously, I can give him some vodka. So I sourced this cabinet for my buddy, and when he went to go get rid of it, he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "You took care of me on this. It's yours, and you'll just come pick it up." So that's
What?
that's what kind of
sick.
kicked off
Wow.
the Brewcade, and so we bought those, and we're having some custom stuff done. The owner Matt here is an incredible dude, and he's built a lot of custom stuff here. He doesn't know it yet, but he's about to build me something for the brewery.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
But and I mean, so the grid is definitely this and Bonus Round are my two favorite spots for this kind of thing. Obviously, Starfighter Arcade and Cobra Arcade go without mentioning. It's always an amazing concept, and I just want to kind of give everyone their space.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be lying if the grid and Bonus Round won't be just heavily influenced in what I build up north.
That's awesome.
That'd be great.
I'll tell you what, let's close out the show
Yes.
by telling us where Grand Canyon is located and where people can come see you guys and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I got distracted talking about all the other stuff.
Oh, no,
The
that's
fun
what we
concept
that's what we
That's
do.
the show, yeah.
So, Grand Canyon Brewing Company, we've been open since 2007. We are located in Williams, Arizona. If you've never heard of it, makes sense. It's 20 minutes west of Flagstaff on the I-40. So, if you're headed to Vegas or New Mexico, if you're headed to Vegas, it's the same direction. If you're headed to New Mexico, turn around. It's the same exit as the Grand Canyon, hence the name, unlike other regionally named breweries. Instead of turning right to go to the Grand Canyon, you take a left. We just built, like I said, an incredible destination-style brewery. We're the only brewery in the nation on Route 66.
Nice.
I know this because I wanted to do I was going to call it road tripping collab. I wanted to do a big collab. Like I said, I'm huge in the collaboration. I wanted to do one with every brewery on Route 66. I was going to do a big media campaign. I was going to drive. I was going to film. It was going to be incredible. And then I called the Route 66 Historical Society, and like, you're the only one.
Collab with yourself, sir.
Collab with yourself. So I'm probably still going to do it. But so only brewery on Route 66. It's the last part of the Route 66 that was bypassed by the I-40. So basically, it's the last part of Route 66 you can actually see. Because it goes from Chicago to California. Incredible. We do gunfights in town every night. It's the wild fucking West, man. And the train that goes to the canyon. We sell beer on that, and the train gets robbed every day. And it's just, I guess, to keep it short, since I literally haven't shut the fuck up the whole time. everyone loves beer. We can agree to that. That's what we're all doing.
Beer's great.
So, all I'm trying to do is remind us all why we like beer. And that's for community. That's for collaboration. You know, we're outdoor driven, obviously. I have inspiration on tap in my backyard. You know, that canyon, I've seen it 50 times. I see it, you know, once a month at least, and it blows my fucking dick off every time I see it. It is incredible. It looks fake if you stare at it long enough. It is insane, right? So we're clearly outdoor driven, and, you know, there's never been a better time in my life than sharing beers around a fire, at the summit of a mountain, on a break on a trail. Those are always the most incredible times of my life. You know, chugging beers as you hit rapids, going down the Grand Canyon. You know, those aren't activities to get drunk. Those aren't activities to escape. Those are experiences that you form with people. And those are the only things that I hold in value in life. That's why community and collaboration matter to me. So, I guess to wrap it up, you know, our catchphrase is discover Grand Canyon state of mind. And I guess that's what I'm pitching. And we make some tasty fucking brews. We've done it for 10 years. I just like to hang out and drink beer and have a good fucking time.
Alex is my boss, and he is the most passionate person about what he does. And I know he would agree with me when I tell him right now he needs someone else to tell him to shut the fuck up. But he really loves what we do, and we have a really great thing going, and we're ready to reintroduce and reacclimate is not the word, but reintroduce. That's the best way to reintroduce the entire state into what we are doing right now. And we have a great thing going right now.
Also, we're making spirits now.
And, yeah.
Vodka, gin, rum are currently available.
Vodka, gin, and rum are already bottled. Moonshine on the way. We're development stages of some specialty things that we don't really want to tell you about yet.
I can talk about prickly pear vodka and apple brandy. Those are down the line.
Well,
probably
he does want to tell you now.
No. Those aren't secret. We have secret things, too.
No, I know. Secret things, but he has other secret things. So.
Yeah.
No. I like it.
A lot of things in the works. Grand Canyon Brewery and Distillery. Ask about us.
So wait, just so everyone knows, what's your social media stuff?
So, 10 years old, so it's not all, like, on point. So, like, it's all pretty easy. Like, at GC Brewery works most of the time. So that works.
Okay. Google search will usually get you there, right?
At GC Brewery usually works for... Well, that works for Instagram, Twitter.
Okay.
Facebook shouldn't give you too much of a hard time. Obviously, check us out on Pinterest.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked at the amount of hits we get off of fucking Pinterest.
Yeah.
Pinterest is crazy.
I 100% have a Pinterest because, like I said before, I'm playing a different game than everyone is. Yeah. I am in every lane, all the time, always.
Yeah. Like a threat, but I would
yeah, we do it too. We get a ton of people to view our site just off of Pinterest. It's insane.
Here's the deal, man. If you've ever interacted with your grandma trying to use the internet, you can quickly figure out that your way of using the internet is not the right way to use the internet because there is no right way to use the internet. And things like Foursquare, which you think are stupid, have been around 15 years.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's probably time to stop mocking Foursquare and ask yourself, what companies are paying Foursquare to do business? And that's where I'm at, right? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not playing for who's best brewery in 2019. Right. I'm going to be the best brewery in 2030. I'm playing a 20-year game. I'm not here for tomorrow. So, that said, I love what we do. I love craft. I love community. I want everyone to enjoy it. You people have been fan-fucking-tastic. This is...
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I love talking about that stuff so much. It's so incredible.
Please don't be a stranger. If you're ever in town, let us know.
Can I shamelessly ask you to come on to my podcast now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Okay. So, we'll work out those logistics off mic.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, Grand Canyon Brewing. Have a great night.
There was a man with a gun in his hand as smoke just filled his nose, wearing a smile from the death of a child while blood splattered his clothes. One single tear from the man standing near is just what had to be done. Not just a game, but escape his only son. And where they go from here, and all his mother feel. Now all he has is his memories of his sickened child, always begging, please, just do it now. Take care of me. I'm all you have. Now set me free. Now, mommy dear, set down your drink and don't you lay your hands on me. You've never been that good to me. Thank God I had my daddy. And why didn't you want him? Then try to save him. New baby boy with ability to be anything that he wants to be, but by the age of his early teens, one small lump altered everything. What was this about master plans? As he lay his head onto his hands, it was said, what's done is done. Shattered family with 3 minus 1. It's a happy day. Hey, love was on its way. It was a happy day. Hey, love was on its way.
Subscribe and download back episodes of Maskerpiece Theater at abnormalentertainment.com/Maskerpiece Theater. Search Maskerpiece Theater on Facebook. Email Masked Blogster at maskedblogster@gmail.com. And for more podcasts, books, comics, blogs, and videos, head to abnormalentertainment.com.
You've been listening to the Abnormal Entertainment Network.